Alright guys, last we left off we were in chapter 11 at the bottom of page 234, adding sound to the damage event. So at this point you should have had the particle effects in there on the box when the player takes damage, and he should have noises like when he walks and when he jumps. Now, I know the current walking noise doesn't really match very well, but again, that's the free noise that came with the thing. Eventually, we're going to add a class, and by eventually, I mean we're targeting fall 2016 to add a sound effect and background music kind of class where you'll learn to make those the right size and fit them to the animation, that kind of stuff. So for right now, you should be able to play and hear the noise when he walks, and it does play a little bit too long, and then hit the jump and hear a noise. You should also be able to take damage at this point in time. So you saw I took damage, I lost half a heart. You saw the little particle effects, the stars shoot out, and stuff like that. So that's where you need to be. If you're not there, the rest of this isn't going to work. So stop the video, fix everything the way it should be, and get to that point. Alright, and also, as I warned people earlier in Angel, when you look down here at your player, you should still have the HUD and the HUD camera. And the reason for this is, and why you don't want to delete this, I know in an earlier video I said delete this, but then I made the change on Angel and said, hey, don't delete that, is because if we go to our player stat script, you'll see everything is wired to the HUD camera. So either you have to go back through and change all the scripting in order to get to work, or you could just leave the HUD camera in there for now, and then everything will work. So when we make these changes, and the player takes damage and we have the sound effect, we don't want anything else to happen like all of his stars delete or something like that. So make sure that you still have that HUD camera, and that HUD camera still has the GUI game script attached to it correctly. Alright, with all that said, let's start. And the first thing we need to do is go to our player controller script and make some changes. So now I'm on the top of 235, and I'll make these changes real quick. Alright, so first they have you add the variable damage sound. And then go to the bottom of your script, and then you're creating this public function called play damage audio. And play damage audio will play the damage sound. It'll play whatever sound is in the damage sound of the player controller. So when we do something like this, we're creating a variable here. We're creating a box in the player controller where we can add the damage sound. And then down here, we're saying, hey, when this happens, you're going to play that damage sound. Alright, so if I save the script, and then I click on player, wait for it, and then go find player controller. And remember, you can move these up. You can just click that little thing and move up or down. Now I've got a damage sound, and then that's where I want to add the player damage. And there's damage 1. Alright, now we need to go back to our player script, or player stats script. And remember where we had that play hit reaction function, would play the hit reaction and the little particle effects. That's what we want to tie the sound into. So if I open up that, alright, I'll make these checks. There's only 2 changes here in this one. So if I find play hit reaction, there it is. So the first line we add is this player controller, hey, play the damage audio function. So whenever I play the hit reaction, whenever I get hit, I'm going to play this audio. So it should be right here before that first if statement. Alright, and then they have us go to the player is dead and add another one there. So we want to go to where this false line is. I typically tend to put more spaces in there and add that there. Alright, really? Oh. This getting old thing is tough. Play damage audio. Boom. And I'm all set. So that goes there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about the 6th line down from your player's dead script. Alright, let's check this out. So I'm going to do File, Save, minimize that. I'm going to go find my player, make sure that damage sound is in there, and then I'm going to play and see if it works. And you hear that little squeak sound, or that little squeak sound? So it works. I'm all set. So now we have sound when I walk, we have sound when I jump, we have sound when I take damage. Next we're going to do sound for the coin box collectors. Alright, so sadly our coin box is going to change again. So we want to go to coin box final. And for me, it's this one over here on the left. Let me move the screen over. It's the one over here on the left. So that's the one I always keep as my prefab, or that I keep dragging into it. And then all these are just copies of that. So you want to go in there, you want to expand it, and find coin box disabled. And now I'm on the top of page 237. So from coin box disabled, make sure that's highlighted to coin box disabled, and I want to add an audio source to that. And then, so whenever this coin box pops up, the audio source, now we're actually going to drag the audio clip to the coin box. And which one did we want there? We want coin block sound. And of course I don't see that. Alright, I know it's not supposed to be this collect coin file, because that's what we're going to do next. So let's see what that does. So did you hear that little ding when that hit? So now you don't hear it on these ones because this one is the prefab. So if I go back, alright, so that works. Alright, I'm just going to go look for that sound. I'm going to go back to audio, right click, import package, custom, and I'm going to go to chapter 12 start and see if coin block is there. And no, it's not. So don't import anything. Import package custom 11. I don't see any coin block. Nope. 10. Nope. Well, I guess in this case we're not going to get a coin block noise. So, I guess we get what we get. Alright, there's nothing under audio. And then that's that, yeah, collect. Yeah, so sorry guys. We're going to use the same noise for our block as our coin collection. Alright, so we're going to go to our prefabs, and we're looking for coins. So just type in coin. And you have to do this for all 6, the bronze coin and the bronze coin popped. The gold coin popped, and then silver coin popped. So we'll start with the bronze coin. So click on the bronze coin, and now again I'm about the middle of page 237. So number 1, select the bronze coin's prefab, go to add component, add an audio source. Then in that audio source grab the collect coin, and then do that for the other 5. So I need to go here, add component, audio source, the clip, I want it to be collect coin. So that's the bronze. Now I need to go to gold. And then finally silver. Alright, so now when I collect a coin, I should hear a little beep. And you can see the little speakers there beside those. Alright, so you see the little speakers? Now, we didn't hear anything because we didn't add anything. We didn't say when to play that sound. So now we're going to go to our coin pickup script. Alright, and why is that not in the prefab? Or I guess I'm confused because I saw all these scripts. Oh, when I type in coin, you see all the coins. That's my issue. I guess I was confused when I said coin. I started seeing all these scripts in there. I'm like, wait a minute, all my scripts are in my script folder. But anyway, I digress. I'm sorry. Old person moment. Alright, so grab coin pickup. Now in coin pickup, we're going to go to coin value there and add this. And now we're going to add the line. Alright, so here's the line I added, just like in the book where it's all dark. Right before destroy, and again you can get rid of this line if you want, or that blank space, however you want to do it. But so audio source, play clip at point, and then play this clip, whatever clip is in that box. Now you'll see that clip is red, so it's like, hey, Unity doesn't contain a definition for clip. So we're going to try to save that and see if Unity won't update that automatically. So file, save, and then minimize. And then there we go. So now the API is going to update that for us. We're going to see some weird stuff, and then it's going to go. And then open it back up, and we can see now it's now get component audio source dot clip, not this audio space clip. It's get the component audio source, which replaces just the word audio. So that's good. Minimize that. And then now, I believe theoretically it should work. So let's try that. And now when we ever pick up a coin, we got our little noises. So now we're all set. So now we're all the way down to 230 or page 238, and we're going to clean up the camera. So what we want to do at this point, we want to unattach the camera from the player, and then have the camera kind of follow us around. But as the player moves to different spaces, it'll move. Because right now, whenever the player moves, the camera moves, and we want the player to be able to move a little bit in the camera without the camera moving. So now I'm going to cheat here, and I'm going to go to Assets, Import Package, Custom Package, Week 12 or Chapter 12 Start, and I'm going to click off everything except for camera follow. So you'll see on page 238, 239, you have this big script to type in. But I'm going to skip that because I'm lazy, and I'm just going to import it that way. And I'm going to import. And I'm going to wait for camera. There it is. So camera file pops up. So instead of doing it their way, they had you go to the main camera and then add component, and they wanted you to add a new script and create it there. But because we've already imported it, we could just go to scripts and grab it there. Alright, and then go to the browser, make sure you move it, so we're all good. Going past, so now I'm on page 240 and 241 discuss what all the different settings in there were, and then we need to make some changes. So over here we want this to be 1144, and then we want to change this to 300. Ooh, I hate when that happens. Make sure your num lock is on. 15, and then this is going to be -1 and 0. Alright, then there's a note at 241 that says if you play the game, you're going to notice that the camera is still going to follow the player. So what you need to do is grab that camera and drag it right above the player, so it's just a line like that, and drop it. And now, if I hit play, you can see how I can move left and right a little bit, and the camera doesn't move. But if I move too far, then the camera moves. So that's what we want. And I still got some noises, and everything still seems good. Alright, so once you get a certain piece done, like once you've added one audio source or whatever, make sure you save the game. Then when you add another one, save the scene. So I'm saving the scene, then I'm saving my project, and I'm all good. Now I'm ready to start to clean up player death. Now just to show you something real quick, I tend to make a bunch of copies. So here, just through chapter 11, I've made all these different copies. So every time I get a couple pieces working, I stop, I save my project, and then I go out here and I right-click and I, copy. Then I go over here and paste and make a new copy. Then I start working on the new pasted one. And that way, if I screw something up in the next step, I can just scrap it and go right back. So I don't have to go back and fix all of chapter 11. So that's my way, and I'm a little anal, but I hate doing work over again. But you can do whatever you want to do. All right, so at this point when we die, my guy just quits moving, and I can't do anything. But what we're going to do is we're going to try to set it so that the player, when he dies, falls through the world and the camera does no longer follows him. And then shortly after that, the game over screen will pop up. So the first thing you do is you need to make the changes that are listed on page 242 and 243 of the player stat script. Now, before you do that, I'm going to give you a new player stat script, because if you put these changes in here like they're shown, you're going to have issues, because like the first time I ran through this script did not work, and I checked it 3 different times and had other people look at it to make sure I copied it correctly, and it just does not work. What happens when in this script, if you look at page 243, Alright, sorry about that. My neighbor came over, was knocking on the door, and I totally lost my train of thought. And anyway, so yeah, you'll have some issues with the script, and only at the very end where you have that, if this health is less than or equal to 0, player is dead, else if blah blah, play the hit reaction. Alright, that statement didn't work for me. Everything else is correct except for that statement. Let me show you what I changed to fix that. Alright, so if you go to the week 13 material folder, and you click on player stats, this is the script. And if you copy all that and then go to your script and open up player stats and make sure you highlight the entire thing all the way up to number 1 and then paste it in there and save, and you should have 127 lines if it worked correctly. Then you're all set. Alright, with that done, now we want to go to build settings. So we're going to do, what we want to do is after we die, we want to load the game over screen. So we're going to go to File, Edit, File, Build Settings, and we want to add the current scene. So we want the current scene to be scene 0. And then we're going to close that, and then we're going to do File, Save Scene, and then File, Open Scene, and we want to go to Game Over. And again, you don't have to center that. And now go back to File, Build Settings, and add current. And now you see the Game Over is now level 1. And if you remember from our script, in the void update part of player stats, we said load level 1, if this happens. So if player is dead equals true, load level 1, game over. Alright, so now you can close that, and you can save that, go back and open scene, bring back your main one. Alright, now we need to make a change to the pit trigger. So, there it is. Bring up that one. So in your pit trigger, we're going to go here to line 11, and we're going to remove this. So we're saying as long as trigger doesn't equal null, and, so 2 ampersands are and then he has us go down the next line. And then we want to call the isDead. Ooh, and how did you guys let me forget that? And now my isDead is all fixed. And I think that's the only thing he has you add. So that's already there. Else. He's got a debug in his, but we also want to destroy that collider. As else. So other than that extra debug statement he has in there, we're all good. File, save, minimize. Alright, now, so at this point, assuming everything's working, you should be able to die and then have the game over screen come up. So first I'm going to try the pit, and that didn't work. So we need to work on the pit. Let me try getting killed by the enemy slime. And well, the game over screen popped up, but everything wasn't in line. So now I just need to figure out this pit trigger thing. Alright, I don't know what's going on with the pit trigger thing, but see now and I haven't changed anything. All I did was look around at the script a little bit and just look at it. And now it seems that the pit trigger thing is working. So I'm a little bit confused. So make sure when you die, your game over screen comes up. Wait for it. Keep waiting. And I don't know why that's all fudged up. I'll have to check that on the game over screen. But just make sure the game over screen comes up. Now, we haven't linked any of these to do anything yet, so if you hit retry or restart or whatever, nothing will happen because we just haven't linked those yet. But you want to make sure that when you die, you're seeing those. Alright, we also didn't fall through the map like the book kind of said, so I don't know if I missed something or what. But if I figure out why that doesn't work or how to make him fall through the map when he dies, I'll make a supplementary video and load it up. But if not, I will not dock you any points. If your final project works like mine, and when you die your screen is off center, or when you die your guy doesn't fall through the screen, if mine doesn't, I can't dock any points. So you will not lose any points for that. Alright, so that wraps up Chapter 11. So next week we're going to get into Chapter 12, which is just optimization. Should be a relatively quick chapter. And then in that's 14. So in 15 we do the getting it all together. And that's when we start putting the title screen and everything working, and then we kind of iron out a couple bugs. And so at the end of week 15, your project should be good. So really for week 16, all you have to do is submit your project, and at that point it should be done. But at least you've got a couple days if it's not to kind of get things working. Alright, so remember, if you got any questions, make sure you let me know. Other than that, have a great week.